Hey, this is Anney
and Samantha.
And welcome to Stuff I Never Told You, a production of iHeartRadio. And welcome to another edition of Happy Hour. As always, if you choose to drink or whatever you're choosing to do so responsibly. Are you doing things responsibly, Samantha?
I am. So this is not a sponsor, but I am drinking something that you hate.
Okay.
Which
I know what it is.
Yeah. Which is a Dr. Pepper, but it's combined with cream soda. Because I don't care. Like, I don't have like a deep hatred of it, but it's not my favorite drink. But they have all these new versions, and this one is Dr. Pepper and cream soda together. And I'm like, that actually sounds like that would fit. Really love it.
I'm glad.
So I'm drinking a soda
for you.
Thank you. What about you?
I'm drinking a rosé.
Oh.
It's hot today.
It is.
It's weather whiplash where we are.
This is the epitome of Atlanta, of Georgia in the South. How we get freezing cold, and then immediately about 3 days later, maybe even not, like 70-degree weather.
Yes. And it's incredibly frustrating because it'll be really cool in the morning sometimes and you're like bundled up, and then it's 80 degrees in the afternoon. It's frustrating.
It's frustrating.
This is one my mom gave me.
Okay.
From the hills of northern Georgia.
It's pretty Georgia. Good. Okay. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Mm-hmm. So today, speaking of not a sponsor, we're talking about Nextdoor.
Oh, we talked about this before.
Yes.
Love it so much.
So recently, Samantha hosted a lovely Lunar New Year party, a kind of get together, and I brought up that I noticed some things on Nextdoor, and it sparked a whole conversation that I'll get into in a second. I do want to say we want to do an episode on Nextdoor. We meant to do it when we were doing all of our tech episodes at the beginning of the year. I think last year. Maybe it was the year before. I don't know. It was the beginning of one of those years. But we didn't get around to it because there's a whole like history of racism with it. There's a lot to talk about with Nextdoor.
Right.
And I've seen it play out of the banning of people and the moderating, and it's a whole mess. But speaking of, we're also not talking about the politics today, because I've also seen that. And I mentioned it briefly in your happy hour, your recent happy hour.
I mean, again, I'm a moderator somehow, which I don't want to be. And I've gotten some things, including, I think, just to put out there, people put like, don't shop at these places, and people reported it.
Yeah, they report. People are ready to report.
Everything.
Yes. But what I wanted to talk about today is specifically something I've noticed that's new, which is very blatant harassment of women.
Yes.
On Nextdoor. So it's I don't go on there very often. I usually go on there when I'm trying to figure out why there's another marching band in the neighborhood. I can't understand. Something like an event or something.
Right.
But recently, I've gone on and I've seen several posts about women being harassed. The first one was really funny, and I actually took a screenshot and I should send it to you, Samantha.
Good. But
it was an older woman, and she said, I don't understand what this website is for. I thought it was for neighborhood things, but instead I'm just getting hit on. Yep. I'm 70 years old. Y'all ain't got nothing for me.
Mama still got it. She should be proud.
I love how she was so, like, you could feel.
I mean, rightly so.
Yes.
Rightly so.
I loved it. And I thought it was really funny. And I was like, oh, I didn't really think about that. I didn't know that was a thing. And then it absolutely shouldn't be. Then I saw another post where a woman was like, don't ever put your phone number out here, because now I'm getting harassed all the time by all these men who got my phone on Nextdoor, my phone number, and are just sending me these horrific images or what have you.
What?
And then I was like, oh, really? And then I saw another one, and it was a a woman who basically was like, why is this a thing? I don't understand. This is not why I'm here. What I'm here for. I'm getting all of these DMs and I'm getting harassed, all this stuff. And the comments, Samantha, all these men came out of the woodwork and they said things were not surprised to anyone, no surprise to anyone, but kind of like really. But it was, you can't take a compliment. Come on, this is a nice thing. You shouldn't have your profile picture up if you don't want to get this kind of attention. And just kind of very angry, what's wrong with you? We're just trying to find someone to be with, and you're shutting us down. Like all these men. And then a couple of women would pop up and be like, basically just ignore them.
Yeah.
But it was a mess. And it was a real tapestry of, I can't tell. I'm assuming you really believe these things. And you felt so strongly about it. You had to comment on this post. And essentially tell this woman she should not complain and be very happy about this harassment she's receiving. And or it's not even harassment. It was a long comment thread. I will say from the profile pictures of the men, they were mostly older men.
Which is a problem.
Yeah. And then one woman was like, this makes me really uncomfortable because I know you all are in my neighborhood.
Yes. Oh, claps. Well done. Well done. Well done. That should be the comment. If I ran into you and you are this person, understand I think of you now as a pervert with no idea of consent and human decency.
Right.
Also, this is called Nextdoor to ask about, do you know a good plumber?
Right.
Or do you know why the water is out?
Right, exactly. Have you seen this dog? Those kinds of things. So it was just something I didn't really know. Like I said, I wasn't surprised, but I was kind of surprised because it's Nextdoor. But then when I was at your get-together, Samantha, I was talking with one of your friends, Dominique, and she showed me the same thing happened on her Nextdoor. And it was just scrolling of basically men yelling at this woman for being like, hey, this is not what this site is for. Please leave me alone. I will go to a dating site if I want this. This is not it.
Well, interestingly, in that one too, there was women coming at her too, because he was a young woman, and apparently the profile picture, I think she, at one point had her in a bathing suit.
Yeah.
And that was apparently enough of a invite.
Yeah.
For everyone to DM. And I feel like this is a weird, like, even in our own group of people that I see as close friends and group people were kind of justified. Well, you know, she should have kind of known better, but she still didn't deserve that type of conversation, which I was so caught up in, like, trying to make sure everybody was comfortable. And then, like, I think I had a one-sided, like, one conversation with just a friend of mine, and I was hearing these comments. But, like, also, I think I did it. I was like, wait, what? And they're like, no, she still didn't deserve it. Would be, like, the aftermath. Right. But even in our group of, I think, like, I was the oldest in the group. So we're all millennials and a few, not really Gen Zers, but you know, young millennials, we'll say that. Like, and we are all very leftist individuals. We are all pretty like-minded, I would say. Like, even, like, the conversation turned into, like, how everything's going to hell and what we needed to do to help this conversation. But, like, the fact that there was enough, like, still a few of the, but I mean, yeah, but no, like, was really kind of shocking. And it shouldn't have been, because that, and I say this for myself as well, there's a small part of us that still cannot let go of the modesty idea. Yeah. And like again, how the Bible has put on us, how Christianity has put on women. If you look like this, you are a sinner for making men lust. Like, that is that conversation. And it's that right there is like, I have a feeling she probably just linked it to, because I know a lot of them, like, do you want to do this through Google? Do you want to do this through Facebook or whatever? And whatever, she felt cute in her bathing suit. Yeah. Awesome. And she thought it was a cute picture. Okay. And yet that was, well, you did this to yourself.
Right.
What point? I mean, I'm thoroughly confused as to like who came on to Nextdoor was like, this is it. I'm gonna find somebody. This is my dating time. And Nextdoor, whom I can't tell anything about, whether they're married, whether or not they're not married, whether they actually live here or they don't, or if they are a robot or AI, I'm gonna hit on them.
Right. And then yell at them if they get mad and don't like it.
And then say, are you too good for me? Yes. Yeah, because obviously I didn't have to get onto a site. That's for a neighborhood watch program, essentially, to get a match. I'm not that lonely, dude.
I remember the woman who was kind of like, don't give out your phone number. She said, essentially, like, she was asking for something very basic. Like, yeah, where can I go to get a storage box? And then, like, all of these things, the DM she gets are, hey, you live near me. We should meet up. We could hang out.
Right.
Like, that makes me so that why would I trust like anything anyone says on there then?
Right. And on the other part, like I can't. I want to know the age range of these men who are hitting, because Nextdoor is people who've just moved into neighborhoods trying to find jobs and find connections, or trying to figure out their neighborhood, or older people. Like that's their social media. So I'm trying to figure out the range of people. And Nextdoor, we've talked about this previously, has a huge conversation in the idea of like very, very racist comments in there about, this neighborhood used to be this, but this family moved in type of real negativity. So again, with that, like, who are these people?
I don't know. And the thing is, all of our online discourse has unfortunately been tainted by this, but I'm still kind of struggling with the idea of this is, her profile picture, she looks pretty, let me hit on her, like in every space.
Yeah, I don't think it's even being a struggle. It's horrifying. Like in the story, like, what the hell are you doing, bro? Like, there are free sites that you can get onto that are explicitly asking for you to DM them, and you still probably will get rejected. Just to let you know, you're definitely going to get rejected here, but you have better chances.
Right.
And like, I think I had added to that story that I had seen some things, but the ones that I have seen are women coming about like, hey, this dude sent this to me. And then other women be like, oh my God, I got the exact same message from that person. And they all like calling out this one dude. So that was really funny to me.
I saw that too. I saw somebody made a spreadsheet. I don't know if it got taken down or not, but I was like, whoa.
Oh, if I was a moderator, I wouldn't. I'd be like, yeah, I'll pin this. Let's pin this just in case, so other women know at the very beginning. Just ignore this. Block him immediately.
I don't know if it's gone up a lot recently or I've just somehow noticed it a lot recently, but I have seen multiple instances of this, and it's the amount of comments under them, it's insane. And we see this in the real world, right? Like, I recently was outside and a guy he stood in front of me and was like, don't get mad, but you have a nice smile and you should smile. And I was like, wow, you're already yelling at me. Okay. And he was like, it's not a weird thing. I just wanted you to know. Okay.
I feel like there's so many things where, and maybe I'm not a dude, whatever, whatnot. When I compliment people, and I genuinely compliment, and I have, they smile and say thank you and move on. There's a difference from just being You have a nice smile. Move on. Instead of being, you have a nice smile, you need to smile more. That's a different take, bro. That's a different... And it's condescending. Like, both of those things are the fact. And, like, just... I have been complimented by men. If you just walk away and don't sit there the whole time and doing it, you're fine. You don't expect anything from it, it's fine. If you're giving a compliment expecting something, that's when there's a problem.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest point. It's like, I think this whole like made up narrative of like, I'm just afraid to talk to women. I'm just afraid to be giving them any compliments. I'm like, yeah, are you doing it lingering and hoping to get something as a reciprocation? Like, that's a problem. That's when you should not be doing it. Right.
Are you making them feel unsafe?
Right.
Are your compliments actually like really not appropriate?
So many things.
Yeah. And then that's what I feel that I'm seeing unfold in these Nextdoor comments is it's like the men, angry men, not all men, oh God. Angry men are coming together and they're saying these things that we've heard, those kind of very basic, oh, you can't take a compliment. I think I was a little surprised at how many people were like, you don't know how hard it is out there for us to find someone. Like, oh.
Well, with these tactics, no, yeah, we do. We know. You're doing this to yourself.
I could tell you, but I don't think you would listen to me.
Me telling you this and the way you're handling it is the example.
Right. Right, exactly. I mean, there's a much larger conversation that we kind of touched on when Joey came on and talked about modern dating. And we talked about it in our update on online dating, about how our system is just not really helping anybody because it's sort of men are getting mad and women are getting like, I don't want to hang out with you if you're so mad. And it's just like getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
So
that divide is getting worse.
Yeah.
The expectations are getting worse. Maybe, I mean, maybe it is the breakdown of the beginning of the incel community. And I think we're using that term too quickly and too lightly. It has now become a normalized word, which is really not good.
Yeah.
As well as the fact that the whole like pickup culture really messed up what has happened. And it's become normalized once again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that in the Manosphere episode too. And now it's spread to Nextdoor. I'm sure it was already there. I just hadn't seen so many instances of it.
No, it feels quickly. Like it's grown. I think I'm with you. Like I haven't really like the fact that when you mentioned it and then Dominique jumped on and then I jumped on because like, yeah, we've all seen this and we're all in very different neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah.
Like we're in different counties.
Yeah. It's not good. We'll have to do a whole episode on it, but I would love if listeners, if you wrote in, if you've seen this grow on, if you're on Nextdoor or, anywhere, just let us know if you've seen an uptick in these types of things. You can email us at hello@stuffwenevertoldyou.com. You can find us at Blue Sky at Mom Stuff Podcast or on Instagram and TikTok at Stuff I've Never Told You. We're also on YouTube. We have a TeePublic store and we have a book you can find wherever you get your books. Thanks as always to our super producer Christina, our executive producer Maya, and our contributor Joey.
Thank you.
And thanks to you for listening. Stuff I've Never Told You is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, you can check out the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.